which his mother was or what his parents were prior to him. He schemed his brother. You know the story. Esau was hungry, and he came to his brother who he knew would help him. He was making lentil soup. And Jacob took advantage of the moment, knowing that his brother was hungry. So he said, thinking, I know he wants something. So I know, and there's something out of him that I want. So he gave him the lentil soup, and he said, in return for this, I want your birthright. And Esau gave it to him. Tell your neighbor, that was an uneven trade. Sometimes we do this, they call us Indian givers. At times when we get things and realize what we traded or what we gave for it does not necessarily equal up to what we received. So after Esau eating the soup, realized that all of his soup was gone. But that which could cause his future to be better was taken from him. And he neither had soup, he was full, but he neither had soup, neither did he have a future. Some of us have now taken the time out to trade things such as, let's say, virginities, such as certain relationships, and we've given up things for things that we thought were going to be permanent but became temporal. We've given up some permanent things that could have provided something better for our future, and typically that which we had failed us and that which we gave away. So we made an uneven trade. Jacob wanted a wife. He wanted Rachel. And he went to Laban at the time, and he said, Laban, he was 70, around the 70s and 80s age, and he said, Laban, well, I want your daughter, the baby, the pretty one. And Laban said to him, well, it's not our, at first he said, sure, you can have her. You come work for me. Got him there to do work. The player was about to get played, y'all. Got him there to do the work, and then told him, oh, but it's a custom that we give you the oldest one first. Another one, an uneven trade. So he had to do the work because he committed to it. And then he said, well, then now I got to take the ugly one, Leah. He said, I got to take her now. And he said, but I'll give you the opportunity if you do another 7 years, and then you can get Rachel. Yeah? Then at the age of 94 approximately, he wrestled. 94 years old wrestling. I find it hard to believe that it was an angel at that point, because if we know how big an angel is, we know that an angel can slap an entire city with one wing. So it's kind of impossible that a 94-year-old man was wrestling with a 17-foot creature. Find it kind of hard to believe. So he wrestled. Then I did more study, and I said, I know what Jacob was wrestling. Jacob was wrestling with his triumphant and his troubled side. He was wrestling with being better and not knowing that he could be better because he was terrible for so long. Anybody ever gotten into some mixes sometimes where you realize that I can be better, but I don't know how to be better because I've been messed up for so long? Some of us want to be delivered from some things, and we wonder why we're wrestling so hard. It's because we're wrestling now with that of our triumphant side and the side that's been troubled. Not necessarily your fault. Troubled by folks of your past, troubled by folks who have, let's say, molested you, have taken different types of virginities, not just sexually, but have taken different things from you and stripped you of childhoods and stripped you of things that you needed necessarily to go into your future. But now you're troubled on every side and don't know that you're fighting now, and God wants to give you better. So he wrestled. Let's put a point in here for a second to know that we are so quick to judge people by the way they walk, by the way they talk, by the way they act. Men walk and talk a certain way, and we label them quickly as fruitcakes and all of this here. But we can't necessarily do that because what they were wrestling with may have actually grabbed the hollow of their thigh and gave them a permanent wound. I want you to understand that Jacob's thigh was not wounded for just that second, But for the rest of his days, although his name was changed, he still had a wound from his fight. So you wonder why I'm still dealing with this, and you hold yourself back, why I have low self-esteem, or why I still walk and talk like I'm still in that lifestyle, and they're still labeling me. Tell them, don't judge me by my fight, and don't judge me by my wound, because what I dealt with is not who I am today. Why are they judging me by who I am today? Because they were not there. Jacob did not wrestle during the daytime. The fight was over at the breaking of day. So which means to me that while you were sleeping, he was fighting. Sorry, I'm preaching to me, okay. While you were sleeping on that person, he was fighting with something, and then they turned around and got delivered. And then you went back to them and asked them what their name was, and they didn't know that the Lord had delivered them. So they still gave you the old name. You wonder why you're still dealing, because you're still giving the old name. You wonder why, because you're still hanging out with the same folks and doing the same things and talking the same way and walking the same way. But God said, no, I gave you a new name. I gave you a new walk and a new talk. I gave you a new attitude. Bobby Brown said it's what? My what? It's my prerogative. Now, he gave you a new name, but it's your choice to walk with it. He gave you a new name, so it's your choice to go get the new ID. Now you walk around with the same old picture and the same name when he gave you a new name. Now your name is Victory, but you still want to be called failure. So let's go to Luke. What does these have to do with anything? Why do they have? They don't have nothing to do with one another. Okay. In the words of Eddie Long, watch this. Jesus saw these 10 men. The 10 men saw him, rather. And they screamed out to him, Jesus, Son of Man, because they knew who he was and they knew what he could do, his capabilities. Just like we know who he is and we know what he can do. That's why we call on him and not the people around us who are going to always fail us. Duh. Some of you are still calling on the ones around you instead of calling on the one who you know can do it, because you're impatient, and only thing that builds patience is trials. So they called on Jesus, who they know could do it. And they said, Jesus, Son of Man, have mercy. In other words, heal us, please, because we've been sick for too long. And Jesus looked at him. He said, all right, go show yourself to the priest. The 10 men had to think at that moment, but you're Jesus, the healer. But you're Jesus, the one who can do it on the spot. But you're Jesus. So why should I have to go back to the priest? Go to Leviticus. Leviticus tells you who gave them the diagnosis in the beginning. In the beginning, when you get leprosy, the doctor or the physician was not the necessary one to diagnose you. The diagnoser was the priest. The diagnoser was the priest. Some took 7 days to diagnose, some took 14 days to diagnose, and some even took 21 days to diagnose. It was not the doctor, it was the priest. Why did he send them back to the priest? Watch this. Because as they went, they were healed. God is about to show you something now. You're wondering why he's developing you away from home. You're wondering why he's developing you in a total different area of your ministry. You're wondering why he's rebuilding you someplace else. You're wondering why he has to take you away from certain people to do something new inside of you. Because then he's going to send you back to the one who diagnosed you with the disease. He's going to send you back to the one who said you never be nothing. He's going to send you back to the ones who held you captive, and he's going to send you back healed. Send you back the same way you left, because if you were stuck in the same place, then you would never develop from what you are. I don't understand. I still don't understand. Okay, so the priest, after diagnosing them and say, yes, you have